Let's talk Tanya for the 3rd of Elul of a leap year. In yesterday's Tanya, we explained how when we give tzedakah without limitations, not limited by the 10% or even 20%, then we draw down God's infinite light, the infinite kindness, and that fixes up all the mess-ups that we did, any mitzvahs that we failed to do in the past, any light that we were supposed to draw down and we didn't draw down. With this, let's return to the opening verse, the opening pasuk of this chapter. We started out with a pasuk from Eicha, where the Navi Yirmiyahu says, Chaste Hashem ki lesamnu ki lecholu rachamav, the kindnesses of God, they do not cease, and His mercies never end. And we asked, what does it mean, Chaste Hashem ki lesamnu? It should say, Chaste Hashem ki lesamu, that grammatically speaking, that would be more correct. The kindnesses of God, they never cease. Samnu is almost like we never cease. But the word samnu can mean, it can imply ceasing. It could also imply completion. The word tam can mean complete. So chaste Hashem ki samnu can mean the kindnesses of God because we are not complete. And this is the key to understanding what's going on over here. This is a pasuk in Eicha, and that's important. Eicha, as we know, is the book that's written after the destruction or about the destruction of the Holy Temple. As we enter Golus, as we enter exile, and why are we in exile? Why was the Holy Temple destroyed? Because of our sins. We need to do tshuva. We're not complete. Lei samnu. Chaste Hashem ki lei samnu. Because we are not complete, therefore we need chaste Hashem. Chaste Hashem are God's kindnesses. When we talk about God's kindnesses, we're talking about the infinite kindness. That's what makes God unique and different than us, is that God is infinite. So, Chaste Hashem ki samnu, we need to practice Chaste Hashem. We need to practice unlimited kindness. We need to borrow, so to say, God's way of being kind, which is the infinite kindness. Why? Ki samnu, because we're not complete, because there are mitzvahs that we have not done, there are various we have done. We need to fix it up, we need to do tshuva. And when we do that, when we practice Chaste Hashem, the unlimited kindness, and give tzedakah without limitations, then we access Ki lecholu rachamav, the mercies of God which never come to an end, the infinite mercies of God. And with this, the Alter Rebbe explains something, a passage which we've talked about before. Ein Yisrael niga'olin ela b'tshuva. The Jewish people, we will only be redeemed through. Ein Yisrael niga'olin ela b'tzedakah. That the Jewish people will be redeemed only through tzedakah. And the Alter Rebbe says it's not only through giving tzedakah will be redeemed, but specifically what kind of tzedakah? The unlimited kind of tzedakah. Tzedakah without limitation. You'll ask, well, how do we know that? Maybe it means just giving tzedakah, the 10%, the 20%. So Alter Rebbe points to a saying of the sages in the Talmud, which says, Ein ben David ba ad shetichla pruta min hakis. That Mashiach is not coming until there's a state of financial meltdown or breakdown where no one has any money. There isn't even a coin in the pocket. Now we know if there is no coin in the pocket, if everyone is poor, then they're not obligated to give tzedakah according to halacha. So here we have, on the one hand, we're saying Mashiach is going to come in a generation which is an impoverished generation, but we're saying Mashiach is only going to come through tzedakah. So obviously, if you put 2 and 2 together, we get 4. When we put that together, we realize that we're giving tzedakah even though we don't have the money to give tzedakah, which means we're not legally obligated to, which means we're giving tzedakah in an unlimited way, not according to limitations of halacha, but in an unlimited way. And the lesson for us is an obvious lesson. Chaste Hashem ki samnu. I think it's fair to say that all of us over here, we've messed up. And there is the divine energy, the light of God we didn't bring down because of mitzvah opportunities that we've missed. And the way to make up for that is through tshuva, but also through Chaste Hashem, practicing God's kindness, giving tzedakah without limitations, not saying that I give my 10% and my 20%, but giving whatever we can. And then a little beyond that also. And this is the way to do tshuva, to fix everything that we've done wrong, and ultimately also to bring Mashiach. With this, we've concluded this letter. Tomorrow we begin another letter, a very powerful letter that will give us perspective on how to deal with suffering and hardship in life.